Welcome to the Tony's Take Podcast, your weekly dose of sports, news, and entertainment. Enjoy. All right, welcome to the Tony's Take Podcast. This is episode 6.
Crazy.
Let's get after it. I'm Carter. As always, joining me, we have Anthony.
Sean.
And Andy.
Let's get it going. Starting off with the big news, huh? We have 2 champions in the sports world.
Sports are over.
Oh,
3
my
months.
God.
Nothing for 3 whole months.
I'm offended. I think the PBA
Well,
bowling tours.
Golf is still on. You know what I mean?
Bull riding's going to be big.
That's true. Bull riding's just getting in season.
But, NHL, Penguins win it all. I thought that was, the series was a little different just because it was so one-sided every game. I think there was maybe one close game in the whole series, so it was all right.
Cracking
it open, huh? Celebrating.
I told you to get
you
everything out of the way.
I know, I forgot.
You a Pens fan?
I'm a Steelers fan, so I like to think a little bit of me as a Pens fan.
All right, cracking it open for the Pens. Okay,
That's right, here we
I
go,
feel
Pittsburgh.
But yeah, the series was different in that way. But I think it was to be expected. They were the more talented team offensively, and really throughout the season, I mean, they just kept it going. Sidney Crosby just took games over this year, and it just there was no looking back going in the series. It's unfortunate for Nashville. I thought they were strong. I like them a lot, and fortunately, they're a young team, and they can still bounce back.
They can come back.
Hopefully, they'll have a couple of years in contention.
And you can't be upset with their performance of the postseason. That was
not at all.
I mean, they were an 8 seed.
Yeah.
They took out Chicago, who was going into the playoffs. I believe were actually the favorites to win, or they were like the second favorites.
Well, they were the number 1 team, right? They had the most points.
No, Washington. Had the
Washington
most.
He'd have more.
But Washington, the thing with Washington is Chicago. Everyone knows Chicago knows how to play in the playoffs. Washington doesn't. So even though Washington had the most points, I think a lot of the odds makers weren't sold on Washington yet because they know how they perform in the playoffs.
They had to go through Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Defending champs.
Yeah, and a lot has to do with kind of your end season form. I mean, you can hit that slump in hockey and where a couple lines aren't performing well, and you get in the playoffs, and all of a sudden you're out. And
I say one thing a lot too is that with those lower seeds is the last month of the season they're fighting for their playoff spots. They're already in playoff mode, and then you get teams that they coast.
Mm-hmm.
They're already relaxed because they know they're going to the playoffs, and then you get that hungry team versus that team that's been relaxed, and a lot of times it shows. I mean, at the end of the day, yes, a lot of teams are better than others, but they're the professionals. They're all in the NHL. It's not like college where it's like you just got a bunch of these D1 athletes versus a bunch of mediocre athletes. I mean, this is the pros. These guys are all in the pros for a reason. They're all professional athletes. So
to piggyback off that, I mean, it's hard to match intensity, especially when you're just starting up and they've been going at that for a few weeks. So it's definitely hard to get into that. But Nashville went all the way. You can't really expect more than that. So hopefully they keep it going.
Well, it's not that big of a surprise if you said at this point last year, if you said next year Pittsburgh's gonna be Nashville, you say that makes sense because Nashville was one of the top teams.
Yeah, they were on the rest. In the acquisition, the big one, Shea Weber for PK Subban, I think that sparked him a bit too. I mean, Shea Weber was their captain, sending him off, but Shea Weber is by far a solid defenseman. He adds somewhat to the blue line, but PK is so good at puck control and taking it into the zone that I think he just added a different element that they needed on their side when they're controlling the puck. So I think that really was a big difference for them. So hopefully they can keep going, but season's over, unfortunately. We'll see how this goes with the off season. They got the draft, and then we have
we got a new team coming.
The Vegas
Golden Knights
coming into the mix. So
they actually showed their projected starting lineup on the NHL Network. I literally just saw that about
some mock
an hour ago.
Well,
the thing is
they
get to take players from every team, don't they?
So each team has the ability to hold on to
six players or something?
6 to 8 players, depending on the combination of players. So if you want more offensive players, that takes away from the total amount you can hold. You can hold 1 goalie, 4 offensive players, and 3 defensive, something like that. And if you switch up the mixture at all, then it takes away from how many players you can hold. So you're able to hold more offensive players or more defensive players depending on what your team is kind of built around. And then Vegas has a pick from every single team, and they'll obviously pick the best player available from those teams, and that's how they will build their roster. So they'll get like maybe a second line player or a third line player, and that's what their team's going to be built around for a while. But I think they get a couple picks in the first round of the draft, so hopefully they can find a star in that aspect. But it's going to be tough for them starting out, which is expected of any new team joining.
Yeah, I actually just saw they actually had obviously very early odds for the playoffs. I mean, for the Stanley Cup champions next year, and I think they had the Vegas Knights at like 200-1.
Yeah.
So obviously, obviously it's way too early to even think about next year's Stanley Cup, but it's just funny that, the moment it's over, that next day, Vegas already has those odds ready to go. And I mean, obviously, I was just talking to someone today that was saying how someone he knew got the Golden State Warriors at like 4-1 because it was and he literally picked it the day before Durant signed with them. So it's crazy that, so I mean, if you really do believe in a team or you think you know a certain player's going somewhere, it's good to jump on stuff that early, but other than that stuff, it's way too early to think about next year.
Now, I haven't thought about this, but this could be like a topic in maybe in another podcast because it's kind of interesting. Vegas has never had the troubles of having a home crowd. You know what I mean? So could you play off that as a Vegas odds maker, give them a little less favorable maybe, just knowing that they're going to be betting on them because they're home team,
I mean, that already happens with some of the popular teams. You say, like,
the
Packers already, it's like they're getting a half a point extra just because they're the Packers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe more so for like the people that are going to go into the sports book that are locals and are now like, oh, I'm a Vegas fan, so I'm going to put money on them. Then, I mean, yeah, sure, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean,
it's the first time they've had to deal with something like that, so it'll be interesting. And I want to see how just a sports team in general handles Vegas, especially when the Oakland
That's
moves
more
over.
what I'm excited to think, because those odds makers, they know their stuff pretty good. They're not usually biased at all. Like, whether it's their home team or not, those guys set the line. And and what they want, I've read multiple stuff about it, but what they want when they set a line, they're not necessarily saying, like, if a team's favored by 6, they're not really telling you, we think this team's going to win by 6. They set a line that they think's going to get even action, because that's what they want at the end of the day. They want even action. They want the action on, like, both sides. And then, I was reading some, too, it made a good point. It's like, what if you had, like, 100 bettors, and, like, 99 of them took one side for $100 a game, right? Mm-hmm. And then another guy comes in, though, on the other side and ends up throwing down $10,000 on that other team. It's like, sure, this team had more bettors, but more money's on this side. So it's like that's kind of what they lean towards, is like that even action. But it is interesting to know that it's like, because a lot of people think, oh, they're favored by 6, and a lot of times those, you figure what, there's let's say an average basketball day when the basketball season's going, there's 10 games, 10, 12 games. Out of those 10, 12 games, sure, there's going to be 1 or 2 of those games that are exactly at the number, and it's like, that's impressive.
It's super impressive.
They do their research. They do what they have to do. Because remember, what if they did make something so lopsided and dumb, they'd just basically get robbed. If people were able to catch on to it. So you have to make those lines sharp.
Yeah, but moving on to the NBA, we have our new champion, and his name is Kevin Durant.
Yes.
Patchouli.
Zaza. And we can't forget McGee as well.
Yeah.
We got some players getting some rings. But Golden State wins it all.
We knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Game 5.
Wasn't a letdown.
It wasn't. It was
entertaining.
It was entertaining, but...
they kept fighting back, but they just Golden State made that run with, like, what was it, about 6 minutes or so left in the first half, and they were down like 5 or 6. The next thing you know, in a heartbeat, they were up 15. Yeah. And I think they say it was like a 21-1 run or 21-2.
It was something crazy. All I know is I was listening on the radio because I was driving, and I heard Steph Curry make a 3, come back, Green makes a 3, and then Durant makes a 3, and I was like, anytime that's going to happen off of 3 possessions, like...
That's their typical team, though. That's what they live and die on. They say you live and die by the 3-pointer.
Well, they haven't died very much this season.
Oh, no, they don't die at all. Because obviously they can do more, but my point is, like, when that saying happens, it's like, in a heartbeat you can score 9 points in 48 seconds because, three threes.
Yeah,
Curry personally died by the three. I mean, the last couple of games he wasn't too stand out. It was Durant that stepped up, so he died by
Yeah,
himself.
I even said to Sean, I remember we were watching that fourth quarter, and the way that fourth quarter started, LeBron made a shot. That very next possession, Durant made a shot over LeBron. And I said to him, I'm like, this fourth quarter is going to be LeBron versus Durant because LeBron knows he needs to give everything he has to keep his team alive, and Durant's the only significant player on the Warriors team that doesn't have a ring, and he's hungry for that ring, and I knew he was going to go out and get it. He's a superstar.
Yeah, his mom on the crowd.
Yeah, he
Oh,
wants
his
it.
mom's
Yeah,
every
that was
game.
awesome. I love that.
Since the
She
Thunder
came on
days.
I think
floor.
everyone
and
wanted it though.
I know, but trust me, he wanted it more. He's a superstar. He's a popular player. He doesn't have a ring. Trust me, he wanted it a little bit more than
a little
the rest.
extra hunger. Yeah,
I will
absolutely.
say they all wanted it. I'm not saying that, but to say Durant didn't want it a little bit more is.
He definitely.
Well,
had.
it's not like LeBron did anything to not deserve it. Cause
Oh yeah, he
Yeah,
averaged a
he's
triple double.
Yeah, he had.
You could have honestly, I would have been
Might
okay
have
if
been
they
the best
gave him the
he's ever
MVP.
played.
My favorite thing about it is the quote from LeBron post championship. He says he's never been a part of a super team, and I was like, what?
Okay.
What are you smoking, LeBron? You started super teams. So I thought that was hilarious. He's obviously better than he lost.
His little chip on his shoulder was that he claims that when he went to Miami, they didn't have anything yet, which I
Nothing
agree with.
established.
It was just the fact that he
Right,
went there and
Shane
he is
Battier and,
a superstar, and
Gotta love Daddy.
Yeah,
Bosch obviously came to join him, and
and
Wade was already
Wade.
there.
Well, I'm saying it's
So his point with
outside of those.
He acts like Dwayne Wade has never won a
I know,
ring
but
in Miami
his,
before
his
he got
point
there.
with Durant is that the Warriors, the season before, sure they didn't win the
73
championship,
But
but
they
they
were in the
broke the
finals,
record for
yeah.
most wins in a season. The year before they did win the championship, so I agree with him in the extent that sure they were established already, and then you get one of the top 3 maybe players in the NBA to go join them. And I mean, obviously, it's like, how were they going to be stopped? Obviously,
This is
he's bitter.
unprecedented.
And
what
not,
happened,
not
but
only
yeah.
that, then he goes to Cleveland, who has had how many first-round picks since he left, and then he brings in Kevin Love, who at the time
But-
Yeah.
was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, like I
So-
said, his word was it's the way he said it. It's because just because he said established, because it was
Yeah.
like Miami wasn't going to NBA Finals before he got there. I mean, sure, he brought guys, like he was able to get guys with him. Like to Miami, it was Bosch. To Cleveland, it was Love. Irving was already in Cleveland. Wade was already in Miami. But I mean, Golden State was already established. 2 straight NBA Finals, broke the record for most wins in a season. Had won a Finals in between those 2 years, or during those 2 years. So I mean, I get what he's saying, but it's like he's the wrong person to bitch about it, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Is what I can agree with to that, because he is the one that did that. Like, let's say Washington got there. John Wall could bitch about it all he wants because Washington's been built up with
Yeah.
Wall being there since the beginning and Bradley Beal. Like, they've built that
They
team
were built
up.
through the
Same
system.
with like Toronto too.
Yeah.
I mean, most of those guys have been there since the beginning or whatever. So it's like they've gone through like the tough times, whereas LeBron and Durant just joined them at their high times and like made them higher.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with all that. But yeah, LeBron's.
But he is the wrong
He can be
person
an
to
idiot.
cry about it.
Yeah, 100%. But do we want to do some season review on the NBA?
Yeah, I think everyone knows who the champions are, and it's not that fun to talk about. It's
It was
Yeah.
projected in the beginning. I mean, and that's what sucks about the NBA. It's very predictable. I feel in this day and age, it's just a predictable sport. It's entertaining. Don't get me wrong. I love it. It highlights some of the most amazing athleticism there is in sports. 100%. But it's a predictable sport at the moment, and hopefully they can figure that out. Adam Silver's got his work cut out for him, and I know I like him a lot, so I think he can do a good job trying to figure it out, how to kind of balance the league. But it's definitely not going to be an easy task. So hopefully it does balance out, and we get some more entertaining, closer series throughout the playoffs.
my fear is that it's going to turn. Everyone is going to have to try to compete with Golden State and just consolidate the talent even more.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's really going to. Then you'll really know Then you'll have 95% of the teams know they
Well-
have no chance.
Well, it's going to be a one-upping each other, you know?
So you say it's like, okay, Boston might get Hayward, and then they'll add this number 1 pick, and then Chris Paul will sign a cheap deal with the Spurs, And it's like, okay, so now there are 4 teams that contend, but everyone else is just trash.
What about those rumors of LeBron maybe going to LA, either Clippers or Lakers?
Oh, that's bullshit. It
I said
happens.
he's going to stay in Cleveland the rest of his
It
career.
happens every year.
Yeah.
So and so's
Yeah,
thing
LA
about
media
LA.
is terrible.
Yeah.
They always do that. They're going to get the next guy.
They're the
next guy.
LA's the biggest, one of the biggest, because there's New York. Media pools for, like just in general, the amount of people that read the media. LA is one of the biggest. So if they throw out to a home crowd something about the Lakers, they'll eat it up, and that's what they're banking on. So it's pretty much like clickbait in verbal form.
Well, it worked on me.
Yeah, I think Kevin Durant was supposed to go to the Lakers too. So.
Yeah,
I mean, there was a
absolutely.
lot of things this last season with, being a Laker fan, a lot of hope.
Yeah.
I know Durant was one of the rumors. I know there was Carmelo was a rumor at times.
I remember
and
that one.
There was, all sorts of guys. And
Aldridge.
hopefully that day does come, though, in the near future where the Lakers can add a
Veteran.
superstar veteran to go along with those young guys. But
It's not LeBron, I'll tell you that right now.
I was
I would
saying,
be-
someone too was saying that LeBron wants to come to LA because he wants to start doing movies or like
He's not going to be doing
more
movies in
and
the middle of the
stuff.
season, so
Yeah.
what does it matter?
Well, there'd be no better time to do it when he's down here. It's right next to the.
Maybe it's
They
the
don't do
Space
that
Jam
right.
2 thing.
Yeah, I know there was. I don't know. Is that supposed to happen still? or?
I'm pretty sure they have it all
Then he
written
should
up for him.
retire and play baseball.
There you go.
Okay, that's no.
Jeez.
Football. Let's see him. I would love to see that guy at tight end
Okay.
just for one season because I think he would fucking just dominate.
No, he definitely would.
Jump
It would
over
be
everybody.
so fun to watch. And
He's a
I was
beast.
thinking about that the other day for some reason. I was thinking about like when's the last time we had an elite athlete kind of try out another sport?
That
They don't
wasn't
want to do it
baseball?
anymore.
Like I'm down to see baseball too, but there's a lot of good college athletes that play 2 sports in
Yeah.
college and then they
I
come
saw
out and they
something that,
focus on one.
Everyone from Jeff Samardzij's, every wide receiver from Jeff Samardzij's class is like already out of the NFL.
Wow.
He seems just like in the middle of his career in baseball, so it's like he made the right choice.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think he got $95 million
Yeah.
from the Giants to be the number 3 starter.
Big time,
Not
yeah.
bad.
Absolutely. And I mean, like, there's Russell Wilson, who's, got drafted by the Rangers, too. And,
Yeah, but he was clearly much better at football.
100%. But I would love to just see one of those players. Tebow is probably the closest thing, and he's in the minors right now. But I would just love to see an elite athlete come out and try to switch, just to see it. I mean, the days of 2-sport athletes are done. I know that, but I just want to see how talent kind of translates in a different sport now in this
see
day and age.
anyone who's elite at this moment giving up
No.
that status to go try something new?
It's too much of a gamble, like
You'd have to be a burning star at that point.
exactly.
They always pick usually after their senior year of high school.
Yeah.
I know Jock Peterson of the Dodgers could have played football, and he fell in the draft because people thought he was gonna still play college football and play college baseball at the same time. But then it just came down to it: take that guaranteed money. So.
100%, and that's what it is nowadays. I mean, the only person that could have the luxury to do it would be like a LeBron because he's made so much money in other avenues as well,
Oh, yeah.
other than basketball, that he's able to risk that because he doesn't need his basketball money to thrive. And that's what it's all about though these days. Is what's going to make me the most money and why gamble that paycheck on something that's unknown.
Very true.
But I would love to see it. It'd be fun to watch. Hopefully, eventually, we do get that. But moving on, we do have some other big news in the sports world.
Well, do we want to talk about the season in review here?
Oh, go ahead, Andy.
Okay.
Take it away. Take it away.
No, we didn't. We talked about,
We've
talked about the
grazed
playoffs.
over it. We grazed over
We
it.
talked about the
Andy.
playoffs for the last 4 weeks or so,
Throw a broom at me.
and just I feel like we're getting like angry, like going closer to the inevitable that Golden State would win. But there were some fun moments this season that had nothing to do with the Warriors. So I brought up Devin Booker's 70-point game. There's some other great performances. How about Russell Westbrook? He's probably going to get the MVP, and
Averaged a triple-double
Like,
this year.
2 months after he's been out of the playoffs, he'll get awarded the trophy, which is a little strange that they're doing it this year.
Yeah, that is strange. I wish they had done it prior to, just because it's him versus Harden, and I would have loved to see that matchup when it was happening. But especially if one
Well,
of
we
them
did
won
see
it.
it 2 months
Well,
ago.
I
in the
know.
playoffs.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, had one of them won it during that
Yeah.
moment, how awesome would that have been? Just that competitive edge. But yeah, it's going to be one of them. I think it should be.
It's going to be Westbrook. I already thought it was going to definitely be Westbrook, but I think what actually hurt Harden a lot too with, like you guys are saying, I mean, like, it's kind of unfortunate because they do wait, and it seems like the playoffs maybe do factor in a little bit.
Before.
Okay.
Just let it sit.
Well,
if that's the case, then never mind, because I was going to say what I think hurt Harden a little bit was a lot of people have said that they all thought he quit that Game 7 of the Western quarterfinals or whatever against the Spurs.
They vote prior to the playoffs, but
as they should.
Yeah, and it's gonna be close. I'm not sure who's gonna get it really.
I think Westbrook. I think averaging a triple-double is just ridiculous.
It's insane. But what James Harden has going for him is he had an insane career year, and he contributed to a playoff team. Westbrook just contributed and just had unreal stats. And it shouldn't hurt him, but that's just the fact.
Yeah, Harden led a second-tier contender because there really was no other contenders. We found out there's one championship team and everyone else was the rest of the pack. But yeah, he made that whole thing work. I mean, D'Antoni came in his first year and everyone's like, what's going to happen to D'Antoni? Hasn't been successful in a decade.
Especially after that Lakers stint. Yeah,
made it work.
Yeah, absolutely. It was quite impressive for both of them. But yeah, it was a good season all around. I thought. It's just
anything else that stood out to you? I mean, aside from LeBron versus the Warriors.
I mean, that's just the story of the NBA, though.
I mean, you had LeBron versus the Warriors. You had there was a lot of good performances this year. I saw something that talked about how this season had like the most different players that scored like over 50 points or something that scored in a game.
The scoring average, there was like
the scoring average too, and I mean,
with 25 or more.
I was saying that you had people saying like, "Oh, it's because the league's at an all-time best," but I disagree. I think it's just because no one plays defense. I think no one plays defense anymore. So I think
it's a different game.
I think it's nothing against it. I mean, I enjoy still watching basketball, and I do. There are a lot of exciting players in the NBA now, but I just think it's just a different game now, and it is. I mean, there's not nearly as much defense anymore.
I don't think it's an effort thing, though.
The three-pointer...
I think the players are just better on offense because of the three-pointer.
The three-pointer has become more relevant than ever this past few years, especially with like guys like Steph Curry that's what they're known for.
Well,
and then you got...
another big star this year, Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
Where you never thought, what was that guy going to do? He's too small, but he became an elite three-point shooter, and he's so quick already that, like... you're either going to give him a three or he's going to get to the rim.
That's the thing, is if you cover him up close, he's going to blow by you. If you give him space, he's going to hit the shot in your face. I mean,
Yeah, I think that goes into what they practice nowadays too.
Yeah,
I don't think they emphasize defense enough, and what they.
Well, I mean, the All-Star game shows that too.
Well, yeah, 100%.
The All-Star game is a show, but they did talk about how this next year they actually do want to make them.
Yeah,
play a game,
and it's not just basketball that we're talking about. I mean, every sport is going more offensively.
Yeah, I mean, they were saying with baseball that
because I was talking it out.
I was talking about how I was joking sort of, but I was saying how like they should allow steroids because it's so much more exciting to watch. Because we all remember 20 years ago when McGuire and Sosa were going at it, when it was like
Brady
McGuire hit 70 and Sosa hit 66, and then. 4 years, less than 5 years later, Bonds has that 73 home runs? Yeah. That 73 home run season. I remember every time Bonds would come up, it was like everybody like went to the TV to watch. And I mean, I remember one of the managers from their opposing team intentionally walked Barry Bonds with the bases loaded. Mm-hmm. That means he was giving that team a run, saying, "We'd rather give you one than four." And to me, that's like the ultimate respect because they're. It's just saying like, because I mean,
I didn't like
you're
that period
giving them a run.
Baseball.
Yeah. That's okay.
Because he was on the Giants.
Being biased and stuff, that's fine. But I mean, I'm saying even like that was the year the Diamondbacks won the World Series. I think it was in 2001, and Luis Gonzalez had like close to 60 also, and it's just fun watching that stuff. But the reason I brought that up was because somebody was telling me that actually right now in baseball, there have been more home runs now, and they're actually players are hitting more home runs like total in the season. Sure, you're not having that guy anymore hitting 60, 65, whatever, but you are actually having a lot of players hitting 20, 30, 40, You're rarely getting 50, but
Judge and Bellinger. Bellinger hit his 16th. And
there was a couple guys I saw today that have like
season.
18.
Judge.
There's Schebler or whatever on the Reds has 18, and I don't think he's not a known player. And I mean, I know he at least sits out once or twice a week, and then Judge has like 22 now, I think, and then there's a few of those guys.
So that's going to my point, though, is that sports are becoming more offensive just because that's where the money is nowadays, and it has a lot to do, in my mind, in my opinion, with fantasy sports. Are you going to be a relevant player with the fans? That's going to get you money translated into your sport. So, why focus on my defense when I can score all these points, get recognized by the fans, and make lots of money?
Yeah.
So that's just how the sports are becoming, I think.
Yeah, and with baseball, it's still like a little different because I mean, if you're a real fan of the game, I mean, it's like you like seeing those pitching duels because I remember, I think it was just last week. It was Kershaw versus Strasburg, and it was like the 7th inning or something, and Kershaw gives up a leadoff triple to the leadoff hitter. So you got 2, 3, 4 coming up. And Kershaw gets out of it. I mean, to me, it's like, sure, people would have rather seen offense, but it's like, you're a fan of the game. It's like, you got to love seeing that. Like, a guy gives up a leadoff triple.
Pitching is just as good as the hitting right now.
Exactly. That's the other thing, too.
On average, the hitting is doing better.
That's why All-Star games have been like, because, obviously, All-Star game comes on. People want to see home runs. They want to see this, but it's like the pitching's so dominant. That's why a lot of All-Star games have been like 4-2, 3-2.
Yeah, and to us, that's fun. I love close games. Close, intense defensive games are my favorite. But to a casual fan, that's boring. I'm turning off my TV.
And baseball is trying to get to the casual fan more because that's why they've made it. They're trying to get more strict with the time between pitches where, they're say, we want to make this pitch, you only get, 30 seconds between pitches or something. Or how now with the intentional walk, it used to be you had to throw 4 balls outside. And now the manager just looks at the umpire and signals 4, and the guy takes his base. He doesn't even deal with the pitches. Yeah. And you're going to have your guys that are big baseball fans that are like, oh, that's dumb because, there's been that rare time where the pitcher accidentally did throw it away or something. But it's like, dude, that happens 1,000 to 1 odds that's going to happen. It's like, it's like just, exactly. It's like just, let it go quicker. I mean, because I remember hearing it, too, in Miami, how they said that they had to find ways to entertain the fans because by the time it was the 5th, 6th inning, everyone wanted to leave because there's so much more fun things to do in Miami, like the nightlife, that people just get bored playing baseball, and so or watching baseball.
It's an issue, and I know we were supposed to do an NBA season review, and we kind of sidetracked.
Well, we haven't done our real baseball preview. It's coming.
We'll go a lot deeper into baseball.
Oh, yeah.
When it's the only thing to talk about. When baseball is the only thing to talk about, we will talk about baseball.
Certain stuff. Baseball, no, we haven't even come close to getting into baseball. Andy and I will probably be taking over that.
We'll probably talk about the 2 seasons being over for a couple more weeks.
We still have our WNBA preview, too. I'm joking.
Do you want to do the same thing for hockey here?
No, I'm good on that.
Well, I just had one thing I remembered from this season. I had to look it up because I even forgot the whole story. The first game of the year, the Maple Leafs rookie.
Austin Matthews.
Fuck the Maple Leafs.
4 goals.
I was like, he had 3 goals. Then I looked it up, and I was like, he had 4.
Yeah, he had 4. I do remember being impressed. His NHL debut.
I believe his grandfather was there, too. But fuck the Maple Leafs. I'm a Detroit fan, and that's why I didn't want to do a season review. And they have Babcock now.
Well, there was other things.
Some magical way, they made the fucking playoffs in a year.
Toronto, be careful. Toronto's the team on the rise because they're young, and
I know
the odds came out and have them as the 5th or 6th favorites next year. They're only 14 to 1.
Was there anything that happened this year that
fuck
you enjoyed?
Yeah, was there anything in this year that happened you enjoyed?
No, nothing I enjoyed.
I was gonna say because you're second.
Rough years. How about this?
Your second.
I've been in this world 26 years.
They say.
So they say. The Red Wings have made the playoffs every year of my life except this year.
Wow.
So
maybe
how's that? Yeah.
Maybe they'll never make it again. Another 26 years.
No, but I've been spoiled. I've been spoiled as a Detroit Red Wings fan. But
that was there was a time where I thought, the Braves are never going to lose the NL East.
Yeah.
My entire childhood.
And the only thing going on now that's been a long streak is for college basketball, Kansas.
Yeah.
They've won the Big 12
entire time Bill Self's been
12 or something years in a row. And so that's a big important streak. But I do remember that Brave streak because it was also somewhere around 12 years or something like that.
14 years in a row or something.
It was fun watching those Brave teams, though, when they had the Joneses, not related.
Chipper
and Andrew. Yeah, Greg Maddox, Glavin. what a time. But again, the baseball preview is...
It's coming. It's coming.
Well, that's the baseball preview.
We're just getting excited for
You're
baseball.
giving them blue balls.
Watch those games on TV.
That's baseball highlights from the 50s
Yeah,
till
that's-
now. Okay, so.
Those were highlights from the 98 season. That's okay.
But
They
some,
made that big trade. They traded for Gary Sheffield.
oh boy, we're really getting deep into it.
Table
Huh?
this for a later episode.
We make me want to play MLB The Show right now.
Yeah, what,
But-
97? Have to get your
I don't
Super
think it was.
Nintendo out for
I don't think it was called the show back then. But some big news in the sports world today. The paperwork has been officially signed from McGregor and Floyd Mayweather Jr. I'm not expecting a great fight, but I'll watch it.
Yeah,
I'll chip in for that pay-per-view.
absolutely.
But
What happens if when it goes to 4 rounds? Does McGregor not even come back out? Does he know it?
it's gonna be interesting.
He'll be back at the stage in a mink coat already by then.
I just love the amount of shit McGregor talks. Floyd talks shit too, but I feel like
It's another
McGregor's
level.
much more animated, much more out there, and it's gonna be. I'm just excited for the shit he's gonna say to Floyd Mayweather, because he's just gonna attack, and he has such a big media following that I think it's gonna be just voice rated like beyond anything
Well,
he's seen.
Have you seen his Instagram post from, I think it was not even a day ago? He took a picture Floyd posted, like just training in the gym with a guy, and McGregor says, "Man, much respect to Floyd Sr. still getting a few rounds in at the gym. Hope I can still train at that age. Respect."
See, like that stuff, and then any press conference, he's just gonna go off on Floyd. I can't wait to hear the shit he says, because Floyd's had some
I
dirty
remember
past.
reading something that talked about, like, because obviously so many people are going to be betting on that match. And I remember seeing something that
Vegas
said,
even
like,
put out
Vegas
odds?
honestly
Yeah.
didn't know how to, like, they were saying that Vegas wasn't going to know
50 to
how to
1.
do it. And they said exactly that. They were getting, like, Floyd Mayweather was going to literally be, like, minus 2,500 or something like that, which for you that don't know, that for those of you that don't know, that means you'd have to bet $2,500 just to profit 100.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't let McGregor be like that high of an underdog. McGregor probably be like 12 to 1 or 10 to 1, 15 to 1, whatever, somewhere in between there. But it's like, for me, it's obviously it is boxing. Mayweather's been the best over the last 15 years, whatever, 10 years, whatever. So I think, Mayweather probably will beat him. But it's like, as somebody that's just it's like, if you're gonna give me McGregor at 15 to 1, then why not?
Exactly.
Obviously I don't have the bankroll to put a few $100,000 down on Mayweather if I'm that positive about him, but it's going to be exciting. But I think what I'm afraid of is that because Mayweather likes to sit back, and I think McGregor, with how cocky he's been, he's going to want to just go. And what's going to happen is Mayweather's going to wait for him to make a move, and he's going to give him that one punch, and it's going to be lights out. We've seen McGregor be knocked out or beaten before, knocked down before. So we've never seen Mayweather get beaten though.
McGregor also only gets to use 50% of his arsenal.
Yeah, he can't take him down. Yeah,
It's not even a fair fight.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting, and
But
McGregor has been training for boxing.
regardless of what
for
happens,
months.
I applaud McGregor though, because he's going
Absolutely.
into his sport. Because obviously Mayweather would never go into his sport. Because if he did, it would
Wouldn't
be
stand a
done in
chance.
30 seconds.
100%, but McGregor's not dumb. This is
No,
big.
he believes in himself.
This is big money
Mc-
pay-per-view that he's going to
big-
get.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
And also McGregor's so arrogant that he's not going to let himself go into a fight that without giving it his all, or that he thinks he'll be knocked out in
Yeah.
less than 5 minutes.
Well, I'm
he's
sure-
going to give it. He's
I'm
gonna
sure
make
he
that a
thinks
fight.
that
He's
if
not
he
gonna get
lands a
knocked out
punch
in
on Floyd
5 minutes.
Well, I know he's
Mayweather,
not, but I'm saying you never know if he did make that one mistake, and Mayweather would love to do that because that would be like, fuck you for thinking you could come into my sport. I'm the greatest. Mayweather,
But he doesn't do that. That's
Yeah.
he just.
I know he doesn't,
He's
but I'm just saying it's gonna suck because what I hope is it's not like that Pacquiao Mayweather thing where obviously McGregor has
gonna
a
be that.
higher personality than Pacquiao, but it's like that was a big anticipated fight and it was just boring. And it's like what scares me is if McGregor, because what if he does start getting tired and Mayweather's getting to him and it's like then he's gonna slow down, right? It's
yeah. Well, that fight was more of a chess match, and that's what made it boring because the mistakes were there and they didn't want to make it.
I guess what I'm trying to say is I want to see someone get their ass knocked down in this fight.
Exactly. And
I don't want to see
feel
it go 10, 12 rounds, whatever it is, and Mayweather wins in decision.
And I feel like that's what it's going to be because I don't think McGregor has the technicalities that Pacquiao has for him to come in and not just throw punches like an animal. He's not trained in boxing as long as Pacquiao. He doesn't know the ins and outs of it. I'm sure he's well rehearsed in it, but
You keep saying Pacquiao, are you meaning?
no, I'm saying in the previous fight for Pacquiao.
Okay.
So like I'm comparing McGregor and Pacquiao. So Pacquiao and Mayweather was more of a chess match because they both know each other so well. They're fighting styles, and they know when mistakes are made and when not to make them. And they both didn't want to get caught making a mistake. So it was very slow and very thought out fight.
Most boring fight ever.
Yeah, it's boring. That's what it was. But McGregor, he doesn't know
It's a circus act.
exactly. He doesn't know that stuff. So I think he's going to come in and he's going to have to throw punches and just to make it entertaining. The guy's getting paid. He knows that, and that's why he's setting it up. And he's a huge underdog by all means, and he knows that as well. So I think he's going to come in there and just give it all he has and just be an animal.
It's like when that the Division II team plays Alabama. They get to be on national TV.
Uh-huh.
They get a huge payday. They get their asses kicked, but maybe they'll become like, was it Georgia State or something?
Oh, it was
like a nothing team, and now they're actually in D1.
Well, remember it was
hope.
Appalachian State
Appalachian.
is who beat Michigan that year.
Yeah.
When,
But there's always
a Cinderella story, man.
Alabama
That's what
always
we want.
plays a shitty team 1 week of the year, and it's on TV, and they get paid a bunch of money, and maybe that'll turn around their program. So I think that's just McGregor knows this is his name will never be bigger after that fight.
Absolutely.
I agree with that.
And I think that Mayweather has had so many past problems that the whole world will be rooting for Conor McGregor in this fight. Other than the Floyd Mayweather stands.
Well, I think people who don't like UFC don't.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, like the old school boxing fans. But yeah, it'll be fun. I'm interested in it, and hopefully it is a good fight and not a boring one. But that's all we have for sports today. Dobby, take it away with our news.
So a couple of things happened in the past few days that are kind of related. They both involve sex.
Hey,
Really
Isn't
like
everything?
that, right? So just the other day, a Rhode Island congressman passed out printouts full of porn tabs. Now, not just regular porn tabs, and I mean it wasn't like inappropriate for that topic.
Pause. Is this
Pause.
like the guys in Vegas that have the stripper cards that are
No.
like flipping around? Like what
A
is he?
tab, so like an internet tab.
Oh,
So he just did a print
So he-
screen, and he
yes.
had his.
Oh,
so,
Wow, that always happens. I always
complete
see
barbarian.
That.
Oh,
What
it
do you mean
always
that-
happens.
what do you mean
Not
that
to me.
always happens,
I saw-
Sandy?
I pass those out at least once a
God,
day.
No,
happened to me last week.
Dang nubbit.
Let him finish. I'll tell you where I heard
Snow
something like
rabbits.
Okay, so yeah, he had a few tabs open, mostly wiki pages. But he also had MILF porn, teen
Alright.
porn, and one other I read earlier this morning, but I can't find it. But yeah, and he handed it out to a whole bunch of people. It was where is his name? His name is Ramon or something.
So he just captured his screen, emailed these people, and sent it out.
No, this is in person.
Oh
Yeah,
wow!
this is a big
that.
presentation.
He didn't notice.
No.
Oh my God!
So, yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. Just complete idiot. And there's a picture of him just looking like a dumbass. So that one was pretty funny. And then I saw this morning.
That reminds me
You
of
want me to tell
Oh
you?
yeah, tell your tab thing.
I think it was last week. It was a writer. I can't remember where a political writer. He tweeted out something, and it was like a screenshot of his computer, and the other tabs were like anime porn. So they knew what he was into.
That's even weirder.
And there was another guy, I think he was a baseball analyst. During the off season, he had sent out like you know how ESPN writers will say like the title of like what they're talking about, and it kind of like ... Here's the link. He did that, and the link was to Pornhub, and so that was on Twitter, and everybody like screenshotted it, and
Awesome.
like, and he didn't delete it fast enough, so everybody had it up and like just ragging on him. So that's hilarious.
You know what gets the fingers busy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Second story. This was also, I believe, this week. Man had sex with a stranger on a Ryanair flight while pregnant fiance was at home. So this dickhead was flying. It's basically southwest of Europe. He was flying from somewhere in England to Ibiza.
Oh, I heard about this.
And he met this girl allegedly in the airport going on the same flight. And there's a kid filming on a Snapchat. She's just straddling him. They're banging in the seat on the
Oh.
plane.
What airline?
Ryanair.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
Like
it's
the
a-
name Ryan.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's
Ryanair and
it's basically the southwest of Europe.
Interesting.
But yeah, there's a couple of snaps out there, and yeah, she's just on top of him. Kind of chunky, if you ask me.
So
And his fiance's at home?
His fiance was at home. He's 31. The fiance is 25. I don't know if there's much detail about the girl on the
There
plane.
weren't any like plane cops to beat the shit out of him. Like that's only happens
I
in
don't.
America.
Yeah, I think that's all. Europe.
They
That's not across the
encourage
pond.
it in Europe.
Do you
All the
think
Europe
they
Get a
flights
complimentary glass of
relax.
wine afterwards.
Do you think they took a pill before they went to Ibiza?
Oh boy.
That's a good one. But I
Got
mean,
'em.
yeah, she is just on top of him. There's no discretion here at all.
So the story I read from this is that he was on the plane and flirting with this girl, and he was literally asking other passengers if they had, I think the quote was jellies, and that must be what they call condoms, because that's
just be
what
jelly
yeah
beans.
that's what they refer to as condoms.
He got toast
And,
didn't want to eat it dry.
And so he was asking everybody for condoms, and everybody was kind of laughing, thinking he was joking. And then eventually they just had sex right then and there, and everybody was just like, "What the fuck?" Like, so that's hilarious.
Makes me think of.
And in this day and
Wolf
age,
of
you
Wall
know
Street.
somebody's gonna be filming that. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what an idiot.
everybody's filming everything nowadays. I mean, today I filmed a dog in the waiting room at my dentist. You don't see that every day.
Doing what? Huh?
You don't see that every day.
What was on his internet browser? My question though is, where are the flight attendants? You know,
That's what I'm questioning. And was this guy arrested?
I don't think so.
Wasn't obscene, right? They had a blanket over them.
No.
It's like normal for Ibiza, so they
She's
just
in
like,
shitty little jean shorts and yeah.
wow.
But I'm thinking of the scene in Wolf of Wall Street where he's attacking the flight attendant. He's like, Hilfa! But
That's,
those are the main two things that I wanted to bring up today. I thought were pretty funny and pretty stupid. At the
Thank
same
you
time.
for that. Those were great. Sex stories, can't beat them.
You can't.
But moving on to our entertainment, we have some big news that The Mummy is indeed a shit movie.
Big piece of shit.
This just in.
Oh, I guess Tom Cruise wasn't enough, huh? But the initial trailer looked like crap, not gonna lie.
It didn't look bad. It didn't look good.
The first trailer I saw
I
looked
don't know.
bad.
The one that they keep playing.
Where it
is
was like a
what I've
plane
seen.
crash.
yeah,
and it was
so-
like, oh, this looks generic.
So the recent one kind of flipped it for me. I thought it was looking good. I got excited for it. Painted Black.
And
with
then I
whatnot.
definitely didn't see the first trailer.
Yeah, the first trailer I wasn't interested very much. But yeah, so it tanked. Didn't do well. I think something blew it out of the water.
well, Wonder Woman still. beat
Wonder
it.
Woman. Wonder Woman
so
just crushed
it's
it.
like one of the best like drop offs ever. Like a very low drop off.
Oh, for the
from
second
week
week in
to
box
week,
office. Yeah.
So,
It was good. I like that movie. But yeah,
Mummy's sitting at 34.
34%.
Yeah.
What's Wonder Woman at?
I think that one's like
still 90
97.
something.
Jeez.
The Mummy from 1999, 48.
Really?
So there you go.
I like that one. So
Wow.
maybe it just wasn't that good.
The Mummy Returns, 48 also. 2 years later, sequel.
Well, I mean, I don't think they were trying to replicate that one. I guess they were
but
because
you
it
know
was an
Brendan
action
Fraser.
adventure and
Brendan Fraser's sitting at home like, oh yeah.
yeah, fuck you, Tom Cruise.
Good for you, Brendan. Good for you.
No, but I didn't think they were trying to replicate that one as much
no.
as
Yeah,
the
I didn't get that
horror
vibe.
mummy ones, like from way back when.
What horror mummy was?
Like,
It's like 30s and stuff.
yeah, the originals, like the original horror movies, my friend.
They did have movies
Wait.
way back to when.
But they had like these mummy ones right now are like based off those ones.
They
They're
were
not based off. It's the same property.
Yes, Universal.
I always thought like those ones were kind of like mummies that walk around with like what they looks like toilet paper.
Yes.
and it's just kind of like
That's what it was.
ooh.
Yes, but
But not these ones.
Well, no, that's the universe they're trying to recreate, though. Is that I forget the movie they had back in the day. I think it was like the 80s or 90s, maybe 70s actually, 80s or 70s.
You don't have a
It was
clue.
like, it was yeah, no, give it a really broad spectrum right there.
1927.
But it was like it was a monster movie with all like the main monsters in it, and it scared the shit out of me as a kid. I'll have to look it up and bring it up next
multiple
podcast.
monsters?
yeah, so
yeah,
like
multiple
Frankenstein,
monsters.
the mummy.
Yeah, it had like all of them, like the OG
Dracula.
monsters. But that's the universe they're trying to create. I didn't think they were trying to really recreate the Brendan Fraser.
I
you
never-
see the
I never
Mummy?
got that vibe either.
Did you see the mummy?
No, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, this new one.
No, and I don't plan to.
Yeah, not anymore.
Until
Yeah, I
it's-
wouldn't, especially nowadays. It's
Yeah, until it's on
$38
Netflix.
to
Yeah.
get a ticket.
Might wait until they have their second one of the universe. If
Yeah.
that is better. Maybe
I don't know
invest
which one
in the
that's going to be either.
Well, then they're saying maybe it's on hold. I don't think so. I think they're going to.
No, they're going to move forward, especially since they have a good cast for it.
And I stand corrected on Wonder Woman. 76 Metascore now.
Wow,
Ooh, went down.
That's dropped a bit, yeah.
It was
I
good.
still want to see that. I've heard nothing but good things.
Yeah, it was good. It's a
on.
little weird. I mean, to be expected with superhero movies, but it was for 90% of the movie. It was awesome. And for DC to finally have a good movie is huge. I think they needed it big time. But opening this week, we have Cars 3, Take Your Children or nephews and nieces.
Yeah, Cars 3 is supposed to be better than Cars 2.
Well, let's hope so, because Cars 1 and 2, I don't really remember. So
No.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen any of them.
No, Cars 1 I remember just because I've seen it like 80 times because of my nephew. Cars 2 I don't really remember.
Just from watching the trailer for Cars 3, it just looks technically good. Like
the
Pixar just keeps getting better at animation.
Pixar's top notch of their branch of genre, I guess you could say, animation. 3D animation, I guess. But yeah, I'm more excited for that one new one they have, the Day of the Dead one, the Dia los Muertos. I think it's called
they're doing
Coco.
like 2 movies a year now, so
Yeah, so we'll see. They usually always have one around Thanksgiving that drops.
Yeah.
Me and my girlfriend usually go see it, but I think that's going to be that one I'm talking about. But hopefully Cars 3 is good. I don't know. I'll probably see it with my nephew.
that'll make tons of money, so you don't have to worry about it.
Another movie coming out is Tupac Shakur, All Eyes on Me.
I'm ready for it.
You ready?
No
Nothing yet?
Nothing.
Okay.
4 reviews are pending.
Have you checked Rotten Tomatoes to see if there's any early critic reviews?
I didn't think about
Let's
that.
see. Look at that, man. You got to hit every.
Well,
I did think about it, but I didn't want to go
It's
there.
going to be his whole life because I was reading about him. He's like, a California guy. He actually lived in New York till he was 15.
And then he moved out.
And then he moved to Marin County.
Really tough streets in Marin.
So-
I don't know if you're familiar.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
He says he's from Oakland. It's north of San Francisco.
Yeah, it's
super
Orange
rich.
County of LA.
Of
But
LA.
higher end.
Of San Francisco.
Yeah.
Orange
that
County
too.
is the Orange County of LA.
Shut up, Andy. Been drinking wine. No score on Rotten Tomatoes either.
Okay, and
That comes out Friday, you said?
It
Comes
sure
out Friday.
does. I'll tell you what. Right now. I'm gonna give it 71.
Oh, you're calling it. We're predicting the score.
And I'm going high on purpose.
You heard it here first.
It's gonna be more along the lines like 64, but you heard it here. I'll stick to my guns at 71.
I'll say 66.
Kind of a touchy subject with Tupac, right? Sticking to your guns.
Oh,
Whoa.
Carter.
Got him.
Sorry if he's listening.
And Tony, what's with the
Oh, yeah,
Price
you
is
think-
Right? Two above me?
You think he's still...
Holographic Tupac is listening to the podcast right now.
Oh, Tony thinks he's still alive.
Oh, Illuminati.
There's a lot of conspiracies out there with a lot of stuff. But I actually don't
Paul
think
McCartney's
he's still
dead.
alive.
And the other
Oh,
highlight.
That's
Okay.
stupid one.
The other highlight for this week is 47 meters down. I'm not sure exactly how deep that is, but it's down
less
there.
Than it would be like.
Remember
if
I got
you're
that
gonna do
stick
a-
out? I showed you.
Well, wait. A track, the 100 meters dash is 100 meters.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
Tony, take a lap.
Holy shit!
Well, no,
You're
well,
kidding me.
No
My-
shit, nerd.
My point is only halfway to that would be 50.
Are you high?
Hold on, you heard it here, folks.
Yeah.
So 3 less than that is
Okay, so it's half
47.
100 meters.
Let me get an abacus out for this.
My point is, I was a runner in high school, so I
Yeah.
picture it like that. So I'm picturing 47 meters from the starting line
Well,
to a little less than halfway from 100 meters.
maybe the audience can't tell, but I was not a runner in high school.
Oh.
Okay, now why don't you try to
So-
swim that 47 meters?
Oh yeah, I'm not going to.
Okay.
like,
But I'm not. My point is, I'm just trying to gauge.
how
I
long is
wasn't
100 meters
dissing
then?
it.
Is that like one straight down the...
Isn't
yeah.
that like a certain amount of pressure if you like go further?
Oh yeah,
or something,
swimming's
or, like,
obviously
you-
Oh,
okay.
yeah,
yeah.
I feel like
those
we're
are
like
ends.
misleading
We
with
got
what
two
I was
things
saying
going
here.
on. Yeah.
I wasn't trying to act like it wasn't that deep. I'm trying to gauge in my head
Okay.
how deep it is.
Well, maybe we should have done that silently.
No, I like to interact.
Well, the good
with
news
fans.
is
I don't know what 100 meter is.
all of our
It's just-
listeners
it's
now
from, like-
know that 100 meters is 100 meters.
straight
I think all of our listeners know
It's like
Tony
from
was a runner.
basically like end of the end zone to like the end zone.
Pretty soon.
That's 100 yards.
Pretty soon
Well,
we'll.
the 100 meter dash is the same thing.
They're so
Some-
100 and a yard aren't the same thing.
Ladies.
But
somehow
it's- that's what the dash is, though.
Somehow we will eventually transition this into Tony's broken femur
Yeah.
back on March 20,
Oh, now that we're
23rd.
on the
Second.
subject.
March 22nd of 2008. 8.
Looking at Rotten Tomatoes, it's sitting at a 67.
1 meter equals
47
1.09
meters,
yards,
67.
so it's
Yeah.
pretty close.
You think you think we can get it down
Right.
20,
Right.
That's why I said
20
it's
tomatoes?
like back of the end zone to like
I bet
end
our view
zone.
would count for that much.
It's 120.
Yeah.
Are you guys still arguing about meters?
A 1 meter equals 1.09 yards. So it is approximately 1 yard per meter.
So 40.
So 100 meters.
So it's not that
100
far.
yards.
That's,
So
I mean, that's deep. Like, I wouldn't. All right, let me just say this right now.
It would be a good kick
If I'm
return.
in the ocean with a fucking shark, I'm in the wrong fucking spot and I'm dead, all right? Because F every single shark movie there is, because it has given me a fear of the ocean beyond belief.
Oh, especially now with all
How about
these
the real life
shark
stories?
sightings out here.
Oh my
There's
god,
been like
yeah.
30 this year, I think.
Police just announcing, hey, just so you know, you're paddleboarding around 14 great whites.
Uh-huh.
Maybe go back inside.
What the hell? I'm at a lake.
The community pool.
But, yeah.
This one sounds interesting to me. I mean, you're screwed in so many different ways. You can't go up too fast because you're going to get the bends. Rule of thumb, speed of bubbles.
Haven't
That's
we
how
made this
fast you
movie
can run.
twice already?
Well, they've made this movie 6 times over.
Well, I mean, like Jaws was there on a boat.
Deep
and-
Blue Sea.
But there was the
Also, the movie with the girl on the little
like
rock.
Shallow
open
waters?
water. There's open water.
Shallow
and the one
water.
last year, yeah.
Shallows.
The
The
shallows,
shallows.
yeah.
The
Shallows. The
shallows.
shallows.
Yeah, I mean, what they're saying is this is the new Jaws for this generation.
I'll tell you what, if
Jaws
Blake,
is on a
if
boat,
Blake
he's-
Lively can't make me watch a shark movie, I probably won't be watching
I watched it.
Was it good?
It was worthwhile.
Yeah, she's hot.
Exactly. If you have 3 hours to kill, you
It's
can
a-
watch it
it's a
once
three-
and a half.
three-hour
No,
movie? Okay.
It's
I was
like an
like,
hour
jeez,
14 or
Just
something.
watch
Oh,
like
okay.
Deep Blue Sea with Sam Jackson.
Maybe we'll Cody it pretty soon.
It's a
Yeah.
better.
And definitely never watch Deep Blue Sea with Sam
No,
Jackson.
you should
No, you shouldn't.
because.
I love
Is
Deep
that
Blue
the
Sea.
one with LL Cool J?
Yeah, he's a cook.
No,
Yeah.
big piece of
Okay,
shit.
no.
Well, yeah, it's a big piece of shit.
Yeah,
it's
but
from the 90s.
it's an entertaining piece of
That
shit.
came out the same time as the alligator one did too.
How
Lake
can
Placid,
you?
yeah.
Lake Placid.
There's a Lake
Yeah,
Placid
see,
sequel.
that was like the big smart monster
Another big piece
animal
of shit
movie.
movie.
Yeah, a couple weekends ago, I flipped through channels. The Sci-Fi Channel had Lake Placid 2.
That grandma was feeding them like goats or something.
No,
Dumb
cows.
bitch. She was cows.
Huge cow. She was just like feed them, and like this thing's just mouth open as she's like herding a cattle. To
I bet
this
she was a Hitler
crocodile.
supporter. Asshole.
But yeah, no, shark movies are not fun for me. Anyways, moving on, we had a big event this weekend in the video game industry. It's something called E3, the Entertainment Expo. I watched pretty much every single conference. I'm not sure if you guys watched any.
I watched none. I leave that to Andy.
I watched a good deal. The stuff I didn't watch, I kind of looked to see what happened.
No, the stuff you didn't watch, he was
So,
there. So
Yeah.
Now I'm big on video games, so it was definitely piqued my interest. The past E3s have been pretty good, just announcing a lot of hype for games and whatnot. This year was kind of a little more mellow, I thought.
Yeah, I think they kind of announced pretty much everything that's come out in this generation already. So
Yeah.
there's not a lot of surprises.
Exactly. So now it's just kind of like refining those announcements and showing off some gameplay and whatnot. The big news from E3 though was the Xbox Scorpio, now officially titled the Xbox One X.
A lot of X's in there.
Yeah, I guess the acronym for that is just Xbox though. Am I wrong?
Yes. Oh, you're not wrong. I'm affirming.
So I'm just gonna call it the Xbox.
how old is the Xbox One?
Like
Yeah.
5 years or so.
4 or 5 years.
'Cause I remember
I think it's,
the
gonna be, I think it's
latest model-
going to be 5 in November.
The latest model is 5 years old already.
No, it's 4. It came out in 13.
Wow.
13. Okay.
Because we had it.
I do have it.
It was we. At the time, it was we.
Yeah, the
We did
listeners
live
down-
together and we did use it. Yes.
They went through a really
And that-
messy divorce, but they're able to work it out. And they work together now.
No, the thing that tripped me out about that
Which
Xbox,
one
and I
you
was
kept it?
him.
Yeah,
What
the one who bought it.
What tripped me out about that Xbox, why I brought it up, was because since we all did live together. It was me, him, and another guy. We
All of us.
obviously I got to like make a profile for it.
Oh.
Do you have a broken
And
femur?
what tripped me out about it, was that I got home one day and I just walked by it, and I think he was using it or whatever, and it just a little fucking thing popped up on the screen that said, "Hello, Tony Cat," And that bothered me a little
bit.
bit.
Connect. Oh,
Yeah, your
Connect.
handle wasn't correct. It
the-
wasn't Tony's Cats.
I had the day one model that came with a Connect. So
But what I don't like
nothing's
is it just saw me. I didn't say anything. I didn't whatever. It just
A lot of people
it
didn't
saw
like
me.
that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm sure a lot of people didn't like the creeps that were somehow hacking shit to like watch them
Yeah.
in their rooms.
If
and
they
stuff.
want to watch me jerk off, they can watch me
Yeah.
jerk off, Anthony. I
Yeah,
could
you
care
jerk
less.
off. You're doing it all wrong.
Just remember to
I get
clear
weird
those
texts.
tabs.
Yeah, I get weird texts like, do it
Get an
this way.
achievement.
Gamer score just hits all-time high.
It's like in Super Troopers, 90 miles an hour.
Yeah. Back to the Scorpio. The Xbox, as we're calling it. It priced at $499.
Yep.
It's going to hit, I think, November 7th? Or is it October?
It's early November.
Yeah, really? I think it's November 7th.
I think that's the name of a band.
It might be, but it's also a name of a part of a month.
All right. Anyways, it's $499. There's been a lot of controversy from the video game personalities I follow, whether that's a good price point, whether they can catch up to Sony with that. My personal take is that's what they expected to begin with when they made this.
It's not a bad price for what it
For
does.
what it is, it's a great price. It's a 4K gaming rig.
If you want to buy a video card that'll get 4K, that video card itself is like $600.
Yeah, it's
You're getting the whole package.
Yeah, to make that computer is definitely $750 plus.
Jesus.
So they're giving it to you for $500. That's a
So
great
they're just
deal.
losing money.
So that is a good deal. That's,
But no, I don't know if they're losing money in terms of they can mass produce and they have their own companies, manufacturers for certain parts and whatnot, where they can cut prices.
Don't
and
shit on my point. I'm
yeah,
trying to sell this product.
absolutely. No,
Get
but
shares in Microsoft.
But
Yeah.
I don't think we need to sell it. But I think Microsoft needs to sell it. But I don't think they had this console as the intention to bring them back into multi-million-dollar competition with Sony. I think it was just them wanting to kind of take reins of the most powerful console.
It's a premium item.
Exactly. It's for the video gamer that's gonna want that stuff.
I think they've said it all along. People are confused. The head of Xbox just said people are they're buying 4K TVs. They want something to do with it. People are gonna want to play their games in 4K. It's gonna cost money, but so we'll make all the games. They'll play in 1080 on your regular Xbox. Mm-hmm. If you want to spend the extra money, you can now get them in 4K.
Well, to me, it's
that simple.
They're marketing to me. I'm a guy who plays video games every week. I'm big on video games, whereas a casual person is going to buy this Xbox One S, which is like their standard edition. Now they got rid of the huge box and the Kinect and all that.
Yeah.
Now they have a smaller one called the Xbox One S, and that's actually priced at $199 right now.
Wow.
So I think that's only for like 2 weeks. So if you're listening to this and hear that, want one, go get it now
And it's in white.
because it's originally $249. Yeah, it's the premium console that's speaking for big video gamers. And I think that's what they're marketing to.
And for people with 4K TVs.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
And
you really need a 4K TV
to get the full experience.
if you want this, because that's what it's for.
what does
And
a 4K TV go for these days?
You can get
You can get them for
Like a
You can
40
5 or
inch,
600.
it's 5 to
Yeah.
600.
I'm just
TVs
wondering
are
because it's like because
free.
then if you're actually because there we go because if the experience is more for a 4K TV, people are going to go out and want to get that 4K TV.
Yeah, that's
But-
why it was
so now you're
funny
selling
that
this-
Sony didn't make this push because
And-
they make TVs.
and they can bundle it. And they have something
So-
called the PlayStation Pro, which doesn't do native
It's
4K.
not as powerful
it's
as this, so-
not even close to as
Yeah.
powerful. But that's their 4K machine. But it's I think it's up-resed. It's not even native 4K like the Xbox One X is going to do. But in that same respect, it's going to make 1080p TVs look even better if you want that. But it's also in a way future-proofing. So if I buy this now, I'm future-proofing myself for a 4K experience in the future. So that's the market they're going for. I think. I don't think by any means this is their console that they want to compete with Sony on a numbers chart. I think that's their S, and that's always going to be what this generation
and
is.
they're probably not going to compete.
No, Sony's by and large way ahead of the game. But yeah, so that was the big news. There's some big video games coming out and whatnot. My favorite from the conferences was a game called Anthem that looks pretty freaking ridiculous.
I have a game I want to talk about.
Let's hear it.
I don't even play video games really. Call of Duty World War II.
Okay.
Were you gonna get there?
No, I wasn't. But
This one, I saw the trailer. It looks fucking awesome.
yeah, I'm glad Call of Duty's kind of going back to its roots. Call of Duty was always the
Yeah, I didn't get into
World
that
War
future
II
stuff too well.
and they got too much. Dude, they got too far into the future stuff. Like Modern Warfare was cool, and then
loved Modern
they
Warfare.
had to one up each other, and it's an annual release. So you're getting a different one every single year, and it's just too much eventually. And eventually they just get to space, and you're just like, what the fuck happened?
So this is a November 3rd release. I think they're always in November. Is this
Yes.
going to be geared for the Scorpio or the Xbox, whatever the hell you just said?
Yeah, I think everything that's coming out this year has to be like made for that.
Okay, and I mean,
Like
obviously
so.
it'll go backward too. Will this stuff even go as far back as a 360 or a PlayStation 3 nowadays? Or is that shit
Nowadays,
completely
no.
gone?
I think last year was kind of their cutoff for new games
have it?
going. I think they had a few that were made
I
for
know,
PlayStation
like
3.
Black Ops 3 has a 360 version. It just
Go-
seems like
Ghost.
insane to me.
Because how old
Black
is a
Ops, yeah.
360 now? Or a PlayStation
Oh.
3?
360 came out in 2005.
Yeah.
Because I have both of those.
Yeah, it's so
But
old.
I never use them.
I think the only game you can play on that still that they make new is like FIFA because people in Europe
Yeah.
have old stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're,
I have the Grand Theft Auto 5.
yeah, that was like the last game.
That was the last game on
Of that
the last
generation.
generation, yeah. And yeah, Call of Duty World War II looks great though.
Yeah, it's
I'm getting it. Definitely be playing it.
Those are really the only games I play.
I haven't bought a Call of Duty in forever just because of that
Same.
future bullshit.
But
But-
I loved Modern Warfare 1.
I'll be playing that.
They don't go on sale either. I would buy it just to play like the campaign, but it's not worth it for $30 to play a 4-hour.
Yeah, a lot of what I'm excited for is that Nintendo Switch though. I bought one a few months ago. That thing's
Oh really?
changed in my whole ass. I bought it because my girlfriend's a flight attendant, so if I'm on planes and traveling a lot, I'll have it and I can play it on a plane and whatnot. But this thing is pretty legit. Like I could
Really?
bring it here, we could post it right here, and two of us could play it just from the system itself.
And
Yeah,
we reviewed that on Tony's Take a while ago.
Yeah.
I haven't got to look at it actually in person.
Well, then I'll bring it next
Yeah.
week.
Do you have like the TV hookup and all that crap?
It comes with it.
Oh.
So it's so you can like
Huh.
play it portably and then you can put it on a stand and play it on your TV like a normal gaming system. But I bought it mainly for the portability and like
Yeah, that seems like a
now
really
they're
cool
getting
idea.
FIFAs on it and all that stuff. So the ability to kind of like take that and play FIFA on the go is like so legit to me. To play that on plane or just like bring it here and have a match of FIFA against one of you guys would be like legit. So
Yeah,
I'm
they
really
had their thing this morning, and I
it-
didn't watch anything but the Mario trailer.
and I got caught up kind of online reading about it. I still need to go watch it, but apparently they had the best conference.
I think they just announced a bunch of games.
Yeah, and
Well, I saw something everyone's excited about, Metroid Prime 4. I was like, oh, let me watch that. And it was just a logo.
yeah, it's just the logo, but
Like-
the fact that they're making it is what everybody's excited for. Just because they've never even remotely come close to announcing anything near it, and those have always been good games. I mean, since we were kids,
Yeah.
Metroid's torn it up. Nintendo, really, in general. So the fact that they're getting all their like old IPs back in and all that stuff is pretty legit. And I'm excited to have a Nintendo, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it sells even better too, because the more it sells, the more support it'll get from third parties. But that's it for our nerd talk, huh? Anthony's over there a little lost.
He's still trying to figure out the meters.
Well, 50 meters.
That's half 100.
We watching anything,
broke it
guys,
down,
on
I
Netflix?
broke it
You guys
down.
watching
You
any
know, I
TV shows?
finished. So we talked about Crashing coming out, or not Crashing. Flaked.
Okay.
I watched. There's only 6 episodes.
Uh-huh.
Pretty good. Again,
There's only 6 in the first season?
no
Second.
Oh, wow.
Second
Which
season.
is
First
even
season
more
was like
rare.
8.
Okay.
Yeah,
Usually
it
the
was
first
6.
season's the shortest.
Yeah.
But it was good. It wasn't. It didn't blow my blow it out of the water like I thought Masters of None did. But it
Uh-huh.
was solid. Like I enjoyed watching it. I wish there were a couple more episodes. I liked it, but I finished it.
Yeah, I like Will Arnett. I
Yeah.
really like him in Arrested
Semi-cool.
Development.
Yeah, he's a good
So
actor.
I can't wait for that next season because I think they got approved for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's something I'm looking forward to. But at the moment, I'm not really watching much. Just still on that OA, that weird show I was talking about last week. So
I'm not watching anything either, although last night a group of us watched Killer Kids.
Oh, yeah.
oh wow,
Man,
And
that is
it's-
dark.
It is dark because I'm gonna just say it. There was one. It's just a bunch of. It's just documentaries of real things about kids that have murdered other kids, and the crazy thing was, I think there was 4 stories in it or 3.
He was 4.
4 stories in it, and literally every single one, it had tie-ins with these kids worshiping the devil.
Well, I think that was the point of it. That was the very beginning. Like,
and it's just kind of crazy to me because it's like shit, and then like half of that too tied in with like these kids listening to death metal.
Yeah.
I was very offended. They kept disparaging Slayer.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that music. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. A lot of that music I like, but I don't go out there. I've never had the thought of wanting to kill anybody.
Satanists.
Tony, you have to leave.
We've
Anyway.
all thought about killing you.
Okay. But anyway, it was really dark stuff, and it was like
It was gritty.
One group of kids like took a girl out to like this
woods.
fire.
That's what, don't live by
How
the
old
woods.
is he?
These guys were all like teenagers, 15, 16.
It was all about like
Younger.
15-year-olds.
They were all under. They were all children. They were all under 18, so they were all not adults.
Killer kids. Get
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, I got it.
Get it?
It made it sound like there was like 10-year-olds going about.
No.
Well, I think
What?
the youngest was. I think the
10-year-old
youngest was 12.
The
Jesus
first one.
Christ.
I think the first was
he
12.
Got like an 8-year-old kid as his accomplice to help carry the body
his
around.
assistant.
Yeah.
Wow.
But anyway, they took this girl out, and the next thing you know, they started killing her. And then as she was dying, they end up like raping her as she's like dying or dead.
And then repeatedly over the next few weeks.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
people would come back to this 2-week-old dead corpse and would still.
It was like something out of the Devil's Rejects or something.
That's
It's
insane.
gnarly stuff. But I mean, that's if you're interested.
And
I
he
think it looks like a mid-early 2000s like public access documentary though. It's not like
Yeah, it's not filmed very well.
Yeah.
Any lighter shows, guys?
I want to keep talking about this.
We just got deep on that. All right, keep going. Andy.
I think there's like 8 episodes. We only watched
Yeah,
one.
there is
Yeah.
8 episodes.
They reenact everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think they film it on an Indian reservation.
Yeah.
For some reason, they'll show the real picture. It's a white guy, and then the actor is like a Native American.
With a really dumb wig on.
A couple of the actors were Native Americans.
All
So
right.
it's unintentionally hilarious. There's that French guy who.
Oh yeah, one of the
Like
murders
Albert
was in
Einstein.
France. That was crazy.
Interesting.
But other than that, yeah, I've been. I actually just watched Young Frankenstein, which is a classic.
Oh yeah,
From
Gene Wilder.
from like 1977 4ish.
Look at you.
7'4".
Did you guys force him to watch it?
No, I
did that on
did that on my
his
own.
own.
Wow.
I go home.
Anthony, that is
Nice.
so not like you. I
No,
just want
it
to point
is.
that out.
I go
I thought it
home.
was scary.
Okay,
We did watch a scary movie though the other night, The Witch.
movies are, you like movies. I won't get that past you. But an old movie, like for you to watch that is surprising to me.
It's because it's Halloweeny. That's why.
Did you
It's-
say Halloween?
Halloweeny.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm obviously, as everyone
that a
knows,
movie?
I'm a big fan of the Halloween time.
It sounds like a costume
So I
for
mean,
a wiener
any
dog.
movie
Yeah,
that's got like
it
any sort of spooky stuff. But we actually did watch The Witch the other day. I don't know if
Carter, are you
anyone
familiar with this
out
one?
there has seen it.
No, I don't.
So it came
It
out
was
last year.
distributed-
Oh, is this the one that was like kind of an indie film that
Yeah, it
got
was an
lots
indie
of
film.
big
Yeah.
reviews and like
It was-
filmed in a certain way? And
Yeah,
Yeah,
It was just
definitely
kinda-
that one.
yeah, definitely. It was.
So yes, I have
Dark.
heard about this one, but I did not see it.
It was.
You didn't miss
something.
much.
Really, it wasn't good.
Andy's gonna tell you.
It got a lot of mixed reviews.
Yeah,
It wasn't-
It's not bad.
It wasn't
it's-
bad, and it had
But
its
it wasn't
scary
good.
moments, but it was creepy. I mean, it was weird.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was scary, at least for me at any point. But
Disturbing?
You know what it
I
did
think it was
remind me-
exactly
authentic.
what it was.
See, that's what I heard.
It
I heard
reminded
it
me of
wasn't more of a horror; it's more disturbing.
It reminded me more of like a darker Village.
The Village was fucking stupid.
I know it was. So
I don't
this was
remember the
a
Village.
little
I don't think
less.
I don't think I ever saw it.
Shyamalan.
Yeah.
This
Village
was a
was all
little.
about
Le-
its
this was a
twist
little
and
less
stuff.
stupid. But my point is, they're out there in a plantation. There's woods. There's.
But I think
is
this
there a
was
witch?
authentic because it was like
There was a witch, too.
1600s
Yeah, you couldn't understand
people
half
that
the
they
shit
left
they're
their
saying.
their community because they disagreed with the
'Cause-
church.
What upsets me about some of these movies with witch in the title is like those Blair Witch movies where you go out there and it's
There
just
it is.
shit's happening and you don't fucking ever see it. And so it's like, at least with this, there was a witch. You know,
She
that
What?
was-
Spoiler.
Oh,
She
it's
was
not
a
Just kidding,
former-
guys.
It's called The Witch.
She was a former Victoria's Secret model.
well, the way she
the young
disguises herself
Yeah,
as a
the
young
good-looking
person.
one.
Why didn't
and
we start with that, guys?
Holy shit, she's
Well,
hot.
you see her for 4 seconds.
It's
Yeah,
enough.
and
She
a
dies right in the beginning.
Well,
No,
the boy,
she's
Oh,
she's
the witch.
the witch, and she could make
Okay.
herself
the
look
boy
good.
gets to kiss her.
Yeah.
He does. That's
Ooh,
I'm jealous
good
of
for
him.
him.
That's
Yeah.
Talk
literally
about a role I'd sign up for.
Yeah.
the only thing I'm jealous about that guy.
Then
for.
he like throws up an apple later.
All
Spoilers,
right.
I guess. I didn't care for it because I don't know if it was just our copy, but you could barely hear it. But then it was still loud at other moments, and they're also talking, oh, bid 'em good morrow. It's like, I don't understand every word.
I said they all
Old
sounded
English?
like they're from Scotland.
Old English.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was Old English mixed with like.
It was very
their
authentic. I think they actually did the research. Like, does
Yeah.
this
Time
actually,
period.
So like
does
your
this set look
ancestors
right?
could watch
Historically
and be scared
correct.
the
Yeah.
shit out of if your
Yeah.
ancestors watched it. You found a time machine.
Well, because witches were real to them, so.
Yeah.
Which?
Too.
Okay, they're real to Tony.
Who made this? Which? Who made this contraption that puts a picture on a wall?
I guess we're all witches if our ancestors watched it. What is this Hurley shit?
Well, it is June, guys. I'm glad you're watching some Halloween movies. But it's June.
The Grinch came out.
I'm gonna spill my wine.
We actually attempted to watch another scary
We
movie.
were gonna
today.
watch The Visit. It's now on HBO.
The Visit.
I like that one.
Is that the paranormal one?
M. Night.
It's filmed like it's from the
Shyamalan.
producers of
Aliens.
Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
Wait, what? What'd you say?
No, not Aliens.
There's no
No,
aliens.
it's
It's like
M.
going
Night
they visit their
Shyamalan.
grandparents.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's shot.
2 years
But it's
ago.
from the producers.
Oh,
It's from the producers of Paranormal Activity, and it's all like they're filming it on like a camcorder type shit.
I don't know.
okay. No. I've seen
Yeah,
it.
They
it's
are.
all like a home.
I
movie
haven't
type of
seen
thing.
it. I remember
heard
the
good
previews.
things.
We watched like the first 20 minutes, but it was a slow start. And
It's-
Why are you guys
slow.
in a scary movie?
It was
kid?
4 p.m.
It was just on. I was just.
It's a slow movie, but it's short.
But
think
I
it's like
did.
an hour and
I
20.
did watch the trailer, and it looks like it gets going though.
I'm sure it does.
We'll finish that another time.
I
Yeah.
can vouch for that movie.
Oh, Andy will vouch.
I'm done watching the movie. But anyways, any plugins, guys?
Dobby Von Daubers, 2Bs, Instagram.
Catch Andy on MySpace as usual.
Yep.
Andy's on
Gotta
Friendster and
find
nothing else.
Tony Katz.
So you got
Yeah!
it.
Tony Katz.
He has been saying Tony's Cats for the past 2 weeks.
Katz is with a K.
Did you ever look and see if that Instagram's available? It's got to be taken.
I'm sure.
Tony's
it is.
Cats. You might as well
Yeah.
change it now.
I'm sure there's an
Yeah.
Italian guy or
Put
Greek
put
guy
a,
out
put a
there.
cat picture as your profile.
No, I think it's some freak person who has a bunch of cats.
As always, you can find me at Coach Carter VP on Twitter. Also, be sure to check out our website, tonystake.com, for any articles on current events, entertainment, sports, and news. We also have a podcast in the making for Stranger Things. We have that coming on, speaking of Halloween. That's
be
called
here.
Stranger Danger.
Be out next month or so.
So yeah, it's going to be coming out pretty soon, so be sure to look for that. As always, we appreciate it, and take care.